Okay, Google, what is OnePlus 6?
The answer is 7.
And wow, look at the quality of this. It is amazing. Hi guys, so let's go ahead and jump right into the OnePlus 6 unboxing. This is the mirror black 128GB version. This costs $579. All right, they also have the cheaper 64GB model for $529. Here is the phone, beautiful looking phone. The biggest change this year obviously is the glass back, supposedly for the 4G LTE gigabit. All right, biggest change from the 5T is slightly bigger sensor for the main camera. The camera setups are the same, but it does do 4K 60 frames per second, which I'll have a demo of it later in this video. As far as all the smartphones I've unboxed so far, this is the second Android smartphone that can actually do 4K 60 frames per second, along with the S9 and the S9 Plus. So if you absolutely need that feature at the lowest cost, OnePlus 6 may be the way to go. All right, you got the fingerprint sensor there. Now, some of you actually might not like the glass back if you use your phone naked. It's obviously going to pick up a lot more fingerprints than metal. Let me do a quick blind feel test. Feels actually very good. Compared to like a Galaxy device, it's definitely thinner. Now, how much does it weigh? Let's go and find out. All right, 6.2 ounces or 175 grams. It weighs slightly less than the S9 Plus, which I would say is the nearest flagship competitor as far as the display size goes. All right, on the left side, you will find a Quickie volume keys and a SIM card tray, which fits 2 SIM cards. It's a dual SIM phone, of course. Also on the right side, you'll find a power button and a silent do not disturb button here. And on top, you got a single microphone. And on the bottom, you got a single mono speaker, also USB Type-C, another microphone, and yes, a 3.5mm headphone jack. I really hate the USB Type-C adapters. I actually don't use them. I lose them. I just switch phones whenever I have to use my headphones, all right, or use a Bluetooth headphone. Okay, let me go ahead and power this on. While it's powering on, let me go ahead and show you what's in the rest of the box. There's a USB Type-C cable. I really dig OnePlus cables. Nice white and red cables. I really love these. This is rated for 5 volts, 4 amps for quick charge. Now, for those of you new to OnePlus products, OnePlus uses dash charge at 5 volts, 4 amps instead of the 9 volts, 1.8 amps. So it is not compatible with quick charge chargers. Also, it's not compatible with quick charge USB power banks. One of the negatives of using dash charge, but it's just as fast or slightly faster than quick charge. You may want to grab a couple of these, maybe one for your office, one for your house. And I don't think there's actually a USB power bank that supports dash charge yet, but it does charge very fast. That's pretty much all in the box, other than a cheap silicone case. All right, I actually wouldn't use this. SIM ejaculator tool, manual. That's pretty much it. All right, one thing I wish OnePlus did was also ship some nice earbuds. That would be nice. Now, I did get to try out the phone for about a day, so I can give you a quick hands-on first impressions. All right, you got a beautiful 6.28-inch AMOLED screen. It's a 19:9 ratio. Now, that puts it in the same class as the Galaxy S9 Plus, which is 6.2 inches. But of course, because of the notch, it is actually cheating. Since when you're viewing videos, you're not going to be able to use the top part here. It's about 6.2 inches, all right? And I think the area for the S9 Plus is actually slightly bigger. In reality, if you take the notch fact out, it's actually slightly smaller than the S9 Plus, slightly bigger than the S9. But very big screen. This is certainly not for those of you who want a small phone. At the same time, this weighs much less than the S9 Plus, slightly slimmer. So if you want to get the biggest screen with the slimmest weight, this could be the way to go. All right, beautiful screen. It's not even at full brightness. It gets very, very bright. I will definitely have a further testing of the screen brightness against some of the other phones out there. All right, very good viewing angles. Now, the resolution is only 1080 by 2280. Pretty much 1080p. But that's obviously going to give you longer battery life. And if you don't really consume more than 1080p, content, then this might work out fine. Personally, I would prefer 1440p, but obviously you're paying a lot less for this phone than a flagship, so it really depends on your preferences. All right, the first thing you get your phone, what you'll want to do, definitely get rid of the notch. So you can go to display notch, hide the notch area, all right? And that will hide the notch. Now you could still sort of see the notch, which is sad. And when you actually swipe down, you can still see the notch, even though it's blacked out. I just really don't like the notch. You just have less room for displaying your notifications. I mean, the notch was invented by iPhones, and iPhones work differently. iPhone users don't rely on their notification as much as Android users, from what I understand. Personally, this real estate is very important to me, and I think it's just a fad right now. People are just copying Apple. But I think by next year, hopefully everyone's gonna stop using notches. I think it's sort of pointless. It does save room, and you can actually fit more of the display. But at the same time, you lose 1/3 of your notification real estate. And especially for Android, notch just doesn't make sense. But with it blacked out, I guess you can live with it. But it is definitely a very, very slim phone. Let me go ahead and compare it with the S8 Plus, and you can tell it's slightly slimmer. It's only 7.8 millimeters thick. S9 Plus is 8.5 millimeters, and the S8 Plus is 8.1 millimeters. So if you wear skinny jeans and you need to have the biggest screen with slimmest form factor, this could be the way to go. I actually really dig the flat screen. I actually don't like curved screen phones. Even though I love my S9, S9 Plus, I actually don't like the curves, because when you drop your phone, that's the first thing that breaks. Also, when you're typing, and just simply having a curved phone adds more glare. You see the glare on the curves? I guess it's a design thing. I'm glad OnePlus didn't copy that. For sure. Alright, you got the latest Snapdragon 845. Everything runs very, very fast. I've had zero problems running any apps, switching between apps. We can go ahead and try a game real quick. Especially if you play a lot of games, the 8GB version is going to come in real handy. You're going to be able to switch between apps better. Performance is definitely one of the best out there, if not better than a lot of the flagships. The sound is very, very loud. I think I got it on the loudest setting. Oh, let me finish this up. It is very, very loud. It's obviously not stereo speakers, it's just mono, but it is very loud. A very good bass. Let me go ahead and play the Pandora real quick. Especially if you walk your dog, you listen to music while in your pocket, having the speaker at the bottom is going to definitely help. And it's not stereo speakers, but one of the benefits of this phone is that you can root it without voiding the warranty. Alright, and install the dual speaker mod, which I'll have a video of once I root it. So for those of you who don't know about OnePlus, when OnePlus 1 first came out, it was the first custom phone that was running CyanogenMod ROM. So looking back at history, this is a rooter's phone, rooter's dream phone. And like I said, it doesn't have dual speakers, but you can root it and install dual speaker mod. And you can make this into a stereo speaker phone, just like I have on my Note 8, my S8. And you don't void warranty. You don't have to worry about Samsung Pay. So the first thing I'm gonna do tomorrow is actually root this thing. Alright, which is great. You're going to be able to install sound mod, custom ROMs, add more features, yada yada yada. Alright, if you want to go full out, I would actually root and install custom ROM, which will give you a ton of customizations. Alright, having that CyanogenMod ROM history allowed OnePlus to keep the tradition of having customizations, like buttons that you can customize. You can go ahead and customize your home, recents, back, long press, double tap action. Of course, gestures is very nice. This I really like, long press to take a photo with your fingerprint sensor. So let's say you want to take a selfie using the back camera, and I was actually doing this earlier. I'll show you here in a bit. And let's say you want to use a portrait mode. Now there is portrait mode for the back. Supposedly with a software update, portrait mode will also be coming for the front camera. But for right now, if you want to use the back camera and take a photo, you can just grab it like this and take a photo. And portrait mode is not bad for the back camera. It's not perfect, but in good lighting, you can get pretty good portrait selfies. Actually, that one looks very, very good. That looks actually really good. Also, of course, OnePlus invented off-screen gestures. So you can customize OVSMW to do whatever. For example, I got O set to the camera, so you can just do that when you want to open camera. And also I've got M going to Google Maps, so I can just draw M. For that, I'll have to actually unlock the security, but still a nice shortcut. So that is very nice. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the camera real quick. It obviously has automatic HDR, portrait mode, And for videos, you've got 4K 60 frames per second option. All right, this actually looks pretty good. And it's actually got some pretty good stabilization. Let's go ahead and take a look at the video I took earlier today. All right, this is at the regular 4K. Just doing a quick pan. With the regular 4K, it doesn't actually preview the stabilization, so stabilization happens after. So you can't really see what you're actually recording. So I'm not sure how this is gonna look. Hopefully good. Oh my god, look at this guy. He's actually in the air. No, he's not in there. Alright, now one of the benefits of 4K 60 frames per second is that you could slow it down. Right now I'm recording this video that you're watching in 30 frames per second. So now I've slowed down my 60 frames per second to 30 frames per second, which is 2x slow motion. If you like to make videos, maybe you actually make videos professionally, the 4K 60 frames per second can become real handy as your second camera for those slow motions, alright? So that is really nice. I really like it. Alright, also there is 480 frames per second slow motion, and there is 1080p 240 frames per second. Now, a lot of you are probably like,
hey Max, I'd rather have 960 frames per second on the Galaxy S9.
Well, in my S9 Plus review video, I was talking about how companies should make 240 frames per second 1080p, because even though it's a lot slower, it's slow enough where you're gonna be able to get that nice slow motion. And because it's only 240 frames per second, the quality you get out of it is gonna be a ton better than 960 frames per second. Let me actually give you a quick demo. Also note, with 960 frames per second, you only get an instant. You can't continuously record like a whole minute. Whereas with the 240 frames per second, you get up to a minute, which is very nice. You're not gonna miss any of your action shots. So let me go ahead and play this in slow motion. And wow, look at the quality of this. It's amazing. This is amazing, guys, because I picked up the GoPro. Also, this does up to 240 frames per second, but the videos actually look best at 120 frames per second. And I'm imagining this does up to 480 frames per second, but the sweet spot is at 240 frames per second. I think potentially this slow motion is going to be way more useful than the 960 frames used on the Galaxy S9. The XD Premium. Again, I'll have a detailed test, but wow, it's amazing quality. Basically, you're gonna be able to actually get that nice quality slow motion, all right, without actually losing quality. So yeah, as a person who buys cameras that can do slow motion, my A7R II here that I'm recording with does up to I think 120 frames per second at only 720p. I got the Panasonic GH5, which does up to like 180 frames per second at 1080p. This does 240 frames per second at 1080p. I don't think the quality is exactly the same, but I'm definitely excited about it. If you make videos, this is one feature you'll buy the phone for. Alright, as far as some of the photos I've taken so far, I actually really dig it. Pretty good photos. Alright, as far as security goes, face unlock is super fast. Let me give you a quick demo. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Literally instant. All right, now face unlock is not the most secure form. There's users online already that have printed out photos of themselves and were able to unlock the phone. Only use it as convenience. If you need absolute security, just stick with the fingerprint sensor. Now the fingerprint sensor is also very fast, probably one of the fastest out there. Let's go and take a look. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Almost instant. All right, overall, not bad at all. Again, I'm really impressed at the slow motion capabilities. Now, this does retail at $579, all right? You can right now get a S9 Plus on eBay for $699, about $120 more. What's missing with the OnePlus 6? It does not have official IP68 rating. According to Jerry Rig Everything, It does have full waterproofing. I don't know the issue here, whether OnePlus didn't have enough money to get the IP rating or maybe it just didn't pass. But based on some YouTube videos I've seen, you pretty much dunk it in water. Maybe not swim with it. Also, it is missing wireless charging. And also, you don't get the 1440p resolution, which is probably not a deal breaker unless you watch 1440p content all the time. Apart from anything else though, I would just buy this phone just for the slow motion and also the 4K 60 frames per second. It doesn't have all the features I want. I mean, for example, one of the features I really enjoy on the Galaxy S9, I can take a screenshot, I can draw on it, you know, I can cut things out. I'm gonna be able to do it with this, but I'm gonna have to download some third-party apps. And as far as micro SD card, it doesn't have a slot. I don't know why OnePlus didn't put it. You know, most dual SIM phones these days, you have option for 2 SIMs or 1 SIM and a micro SD card. All my Galaxies are actually dual SIM devices that I bought on eBay, the international version, which have that option. Now, low light performance seems okay in my initial testing. It does keep up with the flagship. I don't think it's the best out there, but again, I'll have a further test on that. Also, battery life seems pretty good. It does have an always on display. The display is very nice. Apart from the resolution, it's very bright. Viewing angle is great. I'm gonna go ahead and play with it for a little bit, especially the slow motion and the 4K 60 frames per second. And if you guys enjoy this video and want to be notified of my next video, do subscribe to my YouTube channel, but also go to my site HighOnAndroid.com and you'll see this little bar and which says click here to receive notification, and go ahead and hit allow. And what this will do is allow me to send you notifications as soon as my video comes out. Earlier this year, YouTube announced that they're no longer sending out notifications when somebody makes a new video. And as a creator, that really sucks because I've been doing this for 12 years. And one day YouTube is saying like, all right, now we're gonna only send notifications to people who we think are gonna watch your latest video. So it's like I've built up 400,000 subscribers. I'm making new videos. Some of you guys are not getting my notifications, and a lot of you guys actually want to receive that. So if you're not receiving my notifications for some reason, just go to HighOnAndroid.com and subscribe to notifications there. And that will actually give you notifications on all my new videos. I will personally send out to your phone directly. Now, you will have to subscribe for every device you have because it only works on the device that you subscribe to. But yeah, try that if you're not getting my notifications. And it's sad, if you wanted to watch my videos, YouTube decided not to send you a notification. What am I supposed to do? I'm trying to make a workaround where you will receive notifications on every video that I make. The most important question, should you buy the OnePlus 6? I think so. If you want a pure Android experience, maybe you don't care about all the new features that Samsung's bringing you, or LG's bringing you, or Huawei, all right? But you want straight up performance phone that runs fast, especially the 4K 60 frames per second. If you want that higher quality, slow motion, this is a killer deal. Well, I may have spoken too quickly. It turns out Galaxy S9 also has 240 frames per second. You just have to go into the hidden menus and activate it. But I really dig the fact that OnePlus actually put 240 frames per second as one of the main slow motions. So I know it's there and I can start using it. How many of you actually not use the 240 frames per second on your Galaxy S9 or S9 Plus? Leave your replies down below.
Click here to subscribe.